Okie dokie. Are we live? Okay, I think we're live. Good. So I'll just let some people jump on. We've got a couple of people that were requesting this. And it's really just going to be a really powerful session for everyone to roll into 2024 with the right information and the right elements in your understanding on what actually needs to be in place, infrastructure wise, operations and systems wise, for you to successfully and consistently increase your revenue by 10, 20, and $50,000 every single month in your coaching business. So it's really not a crazy amount of work. Actually generating $50,000 every single month is actually about having a simplified set of systems that run on your back end of your business and just really having a clear understanding of the product that you're serving and having access to audiences which have the right fit for that offer. So it's very simple. And today I'm just going to really walk you through the A to Z of these elements. And through this conversation, you're actually going to have light shed upon some areas which are causing potentially some bottlenecks in your growth. And that's really the intention, because with the understanding, we fill in the knowledge gaps which prevent us getting growth. And if each knowledge gap we have in our business creates a certain amount of negative emotion and stress for us. So when we have all of our knowledge gaps filled and we have all of our infrastructure dialed in, everything's beautiful in life and in business. So that's my intention in sharing this with you. This is what I run through on every single demo call we have with someone interested in working with us. We run through all of the elements that they might be missing, and we actually give them this information so that they can either walk away and start getting to work on improving it, or they can work with us and actually have us implement it for them. So if you haven't booked that in yet, as a new member of the group, you do get a free, or an old member of the group, you do get a free demo call of this, which we will get that understanding with you, get that dialed in so that you can enter 2024 being the most empowered business owner possible. And really, if you can take it away at the end of that session, or you can work with us. But yeah, just comment call below if you haven't got that and something you're interested in, just for your understanding. Comment call below, and we can send you the link to book it in. But I've got about 2 to 3 more spots. We're finishing for the year with our business on Friday, because we believe in having time off and really just filling up our cup. We go really full on for the whole year, and we do a lot of growth. So it's important that we set the right example to our audience that, it is important to take time off. So that's what we're doing, leading by example. So if you wanted to book it in, comment call below. So let's jump in, right? So I'm going to go through it in the logical order and sequence very simply, so that you can have it laid out in your mind really simply on what needs to be focused on. But it's important to understand that the conscious mind, the part of you that actually moves yourself into action, the part of you are aware of, can only do one thing at a time. Okay, it's not it's a fallacy to say that we can actually multitask. No, you actually are only ever doing one thing at a time, and the more things you have to be aware of that you're responsible for, past a certain level of 3 to 4 things, the quality of the performance of those things goes down. So the results actually take longer to achieve. So the more things you have to do at once, the longer it takes to achieve it. Okay, so I'll give it to you in order and sequence in this video, and I want you to just take down kind of like how you're going with this, and kind of write down the elements that I go through so that you can be aware of them at the end of the video. And I'd love to hear in the comments like how you are tracking with those things, and if you think it needs work, just for your own awareness and understanding. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Someone just jumped into the Full-Time Coach Mastermind. That's the second person today. I'm really excited now. Let's get to it. So really the first place which needs to be really attended to is your offer. Like, we all know about the offer. Some of us say we have an offer, but then the question is, if it's not converting into paid clients, why is that? So the biggest reason why offers don't translate to paid clients, it usually just comes from simply not having access to the person that would be the right fit for the offer, and not having access to the person having buying power to afford the offer. So they need to have the problem solved, but they also need to have the buying power to pay for it. So the buying power of your audience that you are targeting dictates how much you can charge. So you can't charge homeless people $5,000 for a coaching program, right? Because they don't have the money. So like, it doesn't matter what will happen if you don't fix this, you're going to get a lot of the I don't have the money objection. And it's not even about like handling objections if they seriously don't have the money, because no matter how good you are at sales objection handling, they won't be able to create the money, right? So it's pretty obvious. Offer is first, audience has to have buying power, and the problem. Okay, so in order to really understand what happens next, we've covered the audience. Then what we need to cover is just really the value proposition. So what are we providing to this audience? Okay, pretty simple. The value proposition is just something like we partner with client acquisition companies to add $50,000 per month to their revenue. That's what ours is. Pretty simple is what you do. But what's important here, which a lot of people don't really have dialed in, is the value points. So it's specifically the main 3 to 4 things that you do with a client, which gets them the value proposition. Okay, because a lot of people start with their delivery once they get a paid client and they don't actually have it dialed in and nailed down. So one of the first things that you want to have completed, right? So the value points. So ours is the main 3 to 4 issues that our audience goes through. The first one is they're unclear on their offer and the audience. The second thing is they can't generate enough qualified leads for their offer. The third thing is they have to generate those leads manually, meaning they're sending out DMs or they're doing lots of complex things just to generate those leads and qualify them. We automate that, okay? Then the next thing is that they don't have enough people actually booking in to calls, and they struggle to convert that audience into booked calls. So that's the fourth thing that we solve, and that's all we solve. A lot of the people that come to us are really good with sales, or they know how to close, like they could close 1 in 10 calls. All we have to do is get them booking 10 calls per week, and they're going to create a sale a week, and then we can look at scaling, right? But they're the main 4 things that we actually do with people. So it's important that you understand like what specifically are you doing with your delivery so that you can communicate that in your sales call and in your content so that people can actually see it as a no-brainer to work with you, right? Just like I'm doing now, I'm just communicating what we do. So we believe that understanding your offer at this level takes all of the heavy lifting out of your business, because really when you can communicate what you do to a person that has a problem with buying power, if you can communicate that really clearly and they can feel that you know them and you know them and can get them where they want to go faster and easier than whoever else they're working with or other people in the industry, they're going to choose you automatically. So we actually don't believe in mastering sales necessarily or getting amazing at sales. We really focus on the offer. Okay, so once we've got the value points and the value proposition, now we just need a marketing message. So having all of this stuff is great, but you got to know how to communicate it in your content, right? You got to know how to articulate it. So what we want to understand is that, okay, how do we actually communicate these value points in our marketing message? And this solves the problem of not knowing how to create content. It usually, if you run out of ideas for content, your content's feeling a bit stale, it's usually that you're not actually that clear on what you're serving people with, because it just, dries up. Everything dries up. So I could talk for like hundreds of hours on each of these value points because I've just spent so much time like finding out what it's all about, where it really comes from. Like each one is just honestly an amazing study for me. So we know our offer, we have our marketing message, we have our audiences. That's the first thing that needs to happen. If you don't have that, then all of your efforts in your business will not work. Unclear about your offer and your audience, then whoever you message will create diluted results. Okay, so I think you feel me. Once we've got that dialed in, everything else suddenly is 10 times more effective just without changing anything else. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, what's the next thing after offer and audience is actually generating traffic of a niche, an avatar at scale that actually is a good fit for this offer. So do you have access to qualified audiences of people with the problem and also that have buying power? So most people use Facebook groups for this. Facebook groups are okay, but a lot of people are in the wrong Facebook groups, or they're having to generate leads and do cold outreach by themselves or personally. Now, this is what we call an unsustainable business practice, because if you have to generate leads yourself, it's going to require anywhere from 4 to 6 hours per day to actually generate enough leads to create an actual business model that makes about 10K per month. But generally speaking, you can't get past 10K per month. unless you are charging like $10,000 to $20,000 for your offers. But it's just not a sustainable practice because you can't have a life aside from this, right? And I did this for like the first 2 years of my business, 80-hour weeks. It just is not sustainable. So what we want is like, okay, a systemized lead generation machine where you can actually have someone else generate the leads for you, and they actually convert that audience into your audience. So this is the next element that needs to be there, is systemized lead generation. So what we have in our business personally, and what we put in our clients' business, just for context on this and as an example, is that we have a outreach specialist who messages 1,000 people every single week, and they use what's called exchange-based marketing. Permission-based marketing is another name for it. And what this is I think you're going to really like this, guys. They say to every person in these groups, hey, we're giving out this training that solves this identified need that the niche has based on the value points. We're giving out this training for free. We're giving it inside our group. Would you be open to me sending through a link to actually join? Okay. So what we found is that because you're giving something up front, most people are really open to actually coming in, and then they just jump in. Okay. So this person for us in our business is generating 50 to 100 group members every single week. So this is the next thing, is systemized lead generation. So all of these concepts that I'm talking about, probably you've heard of them before, but why haven't you created the results necessarily of 50 to 100 new leads a week? It's because it's set up, but it's not set up perfectly to actually convert. Okay. So once we're getting systemized lead flow into the business, now your business is actually alive. Before this point, it was dead, or it was on like life support. I like to say, like, if you're doing lead generation yourself, it's like you're just keeping your business alive, right? So super important, systemized lead gen. Okay. Now what's the next logical step? There's only two more things before you hit 10K per month, like ridiculously quickly. The next thing is just setting those leads on appointments, as appointments. Okay. So 50 to 100 people coming into the group. What you want to have is this group needs to be optimized as a filter to disqualify all the unqualified leads. Okay. So if someone's generating you leads into a group and they're generating them at such high volume, there's going to be a percentage that are not actually that qualified, because like we need questions in our Facebook group that actually qualify people, and then give them the free training, which is hooked up to an automated email sequence. Okay, so they get free training. Once the first email is giving them that, the second email is giving them something else of value. The third email that should be set up is literally just offering a call. So you could take what I'm saying and literally implement it straight away. Offer them a call. That's automatically happening. And it's actually increasing the value that every single person in your group receives from you, which actually gets people coming back. If you want to know how to create an engaged community, give them things of value. It's not a mystery. It's actually very simple. So once they receive that, the third question after you give them the training is literally just getting permission to jump into their DMs. And the way we suggest to formulate this question, which is what we set up with our clients, is literally this. Would you be okay with us reaching out to share what's working well with our clients around whatever the problem is that people are joining to solve? That's it. Yes or no? Boom. Once they say yes or no, you should have a CRM linked up. So we use something called GroupKit, which you could use. I'm literally giving away our whole system right now. Just like, this is literally everything we're doing. I'm not leaving anything out right now. Easy to use CRM. It uploads the leads, their emails, all of the answers to their questions to a CRM. And all you need to do is go into that CRM every day, multiple times a day, and look at the leads, see who requested help. And then what you just need to do is have a what we call a conversational messaging flow, which advances the relationship with the lead to book a call. And it really should just be like, find out their inefficiency. Hey, I saw you requested us to reach out. Can I ask you a couple of questions? Okay, what are you going through in the way of this problem? Okay, can we share how we solve that? Great. Once you've shared it, they're interested. You've identified like a reason why a call would be necessary. And most people don't do this. That's why people don't show up or they don't book in. Okay, so advancing relationships, guys, got to identify an inefficiency. just a quick education step, and then saying, look, would a call be completely silly, or do you think it could help? Probably could help. Great. That's literally it, guys. That is how you book out your calendar. That is literally all it is. 50 to 100 leads coming in the group. They are per week. They ask for permission for you to actually reach out to them. You're focusing on the highest quality leads. You're advancing the relationship. They're having a reason to actually show up to the call. Now, it's not done yet, okay? Because we just need to make sure they show up. So 98% showing up to the call is minimum. I don't remember the last time someone booked a call with me and didn't show up. And we're getting 70% to 90% of people joining our program. 2 people just today, okay? So let me show you what we have in place. It's the booking link, which qualifies them, specific questions. You might say, oh, I have a booking link set up. Okay, but like, why aren't things working? Okay, so it's how things are set up rather than what's set up. So you might say, I have a group set up already. Yes, but if it's not converting, it may as well just not even be there. So we need to make sure that all the elements are dialed in. Booking link, questions, there's an email sequence connected to the booking link. And that email sequence sends out, again, educational assets on what you do, case studies, creating conviction on what you do that it works, and then just the link to log in on the day. So really what's important to understand is that by this point, 98% of people are going to be showing up to the call. You get on the call, this is a completely different experience than if you didn't have this stuff set up. If you didn't have this stuff set up, you would have had to do all of that work manually, generating the lead, qualifying them. Honestly, gives me anxiety to think about it. Educating them on what you do, finding the need, all of this stuff. And then most of the time it doesn't even end up in a sale because they come onto the sales call and they're just like, they don't know what they're doing there. They're not qualified completely. They're not pre-qualified. They're not educated on your offer based on consuming any content. It's minimal, if any, and they haven't seen any case studies, so they're not convinced. So in what world could you consistently generate paid clients with that model? Like if you have negative emotions in your business, not because of you, not because of anything. It's because of the system that you don't have in place or that you do have in place being wrong or broken or ineffective. So comment below if you're actually like, yeah, wow, like I'm seeing some points where I could improve, because that's really the aim of this, right? So once they're showing up to the call, they're educated, they're convinced, you've taken all of that heavy lifting out of the sales call and you've put it into automated assets and methods so that when you get into the call, you're just like, hey, okay, we know why you're here. You've mentioned in the booking link questions in our conversation beforehand, you've got this problem. What are you doing to solve it? Here's what we do. Is it worth a try? Oh my gosh, guys, this is it. Literally. The only other thing that could prevent them moving forward is them not having the money. And it's like actually embedded into the call booking questions to find that out beforehand. This is all it is. So from this, what we're looking at is 50 to 100 group members a week coming into the group, 5 to 10 calls booking in per week, 1 to 2 sales of a core offer of 3 to 5, maybe $10,000 each. That's a $50,000 month at least. That's all it is. That is all we have. We don't have paid ads. We don't have free challenges. We don't run complex operations of any kind. And we don't even have more than 3 team members. We don't have more than 3 team members. So our profit margins are about 85 to 90%. Crazy. So these are the elements, okay? One more time. Audience and offer, dialed. Systemized lead generation, dialed. You need to have your Facebook group to qualify the leads, dialed. You need to have your booking link and your email sequence, which is your appointment setting process, dialed. And then just the sales process, dialed, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. That's all it is. So please just remember, simplicity scales, complex fails. There's so many people that our setters and our team talks to on a daily basis. Their main reason for not hearing about what we do is because they're too busy. But I'm not busy, but I'm still collecting about $50,000 per week. So that means that you being busy is the reason why you need to have a demo call with us or someone Because if you're very busy, but you're not scaling your business, then your business is not actually a revenue generating machine or an impact generating machine, because you can't help anyone. It's just literally a way of being busy. And being busy doesn't require any kind of intelligence or effective behavior. Being successful requires you to use better systems. So if you're lacking any of these elements and you're really feeling like, wow, what Ben's saying right now makes sense. Because for me, when I say this, those people that are like, oh no, I don't need this, or I'm doing this, okay, you're not for us. Okay, that's totally fine. That is okay with us. We're not here to serve everyone. In fact, we only take on 5 to 10 clients a month, and we just keep increasing our prices because we believe that the more money we have to invest in delivery, the better the results we can achieve, right? And we're currently looking at 50 to 70% of success rate within 30 days, which is crazy. Usually client acquisition companies look at 5 to 10% success of the whole client base, okay? But we're looking at statistically how high can we make the statistic of success in our client base, not random case studies, okay? So look, if you're feeling like you have some elements missing and you'd like to go deeper and you want something that's a little more bespoke, a little more customized, and to find the specific elements that are missing for you so that you can get actually some potentially just some free trainings. I may give you some free stuff to implement. You can implement it by yourself, or you can actually apply to work with us. We're abundant. We don't actually have any need to convert people. But those that jump on a call, usually they get so curious about what we say, they get so interested. It's such a different way of doing business. It's really, they say to us what the main reason why they jump in is because what we have is just basic infrastructure that works. Simple, scalable systems that work. That's why people jump in with us. So if you're looking for something like that, even if you're not looking to invest now, but you want to hear about it for down the line, comment call below and we can chat. So I've got a couple of sessions before we finish for the week. I really hope that we can chat before so that you have the game plan ready for next year. If you're saying to yourself right now, I just don't have the time, maybe in January, let's talk. That's the wrong way of thinking if you want to be successful. What you want to understand is like certain things are making you too busy to speak now. That's why we need to speak, because what you need is something that's more effective for the use of your time. And it's like a 15-minute call, which could absolutely change your life based on the knowledge gaps that it will fill. I can assure you, no one has ever left one of these calls without positive emotions. So again, if you have some elements that are missing, I encourage you, jump on the call. It will be a win-win situation. I can assure you. I'll even make you laugh because that's important. Comment, call below if you're wanting that. If not, I'll see you in the next video, in the next piece of content. Thank you so much for jumping onto this and providing us with your attention, because I know that that is something you never get back. So thank you for spending it in. Hopefully, I hope you feel that it has been in the right place. So happy and Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone's beautiful and joyful. Have a beautiful day.